Hi again, my name is Sam. I'm CTO and co-founder of Tatum, and welcome to today's workshop, how to build a backend for exchange in 30 minutes. First of all, maybe some organization things. As I mentioned, the workshop will be recorded. There's going to be a video on YouTube right after the session. I'll ask you all to stay mute and ask questions to the chat in the Zoom. If anything is really not clear for you, please raise hand and we can stop for a little bit and discuss it to more depth. But I think it should be quite straightforward. So we can just start. First of all, I'd like to introduce you what Tatum is, who we are, and what we do. We are next generation. Tatum is next generation blockchain infrastructure with a focus on developers. We have a powerful REST API where you can integrate and build your applications on top of our platform. We support more than 20 blockchains, a lot of crypto assets and protocols, and we are all the time adding more and more. To start working with Tatum, you need to sign up into our dashboard and obtain API key. Our dashboard is available in our homepage. So when you set up an account inside our dashboard, when you sign in, you will be able to create API key. API keys are free for development. It's unlimited and free forever. So all of you can start there. When you create API key, you can show it inside the dashboard and work with this API key. In order to find out more about the APIs, our API documentation is available for all of you. It's in the section API doc, and it describes all the endpoints and all the blockchains we support. So it's quite extensive. But don't be afraid. For today's workshop, we're gonna use 10, 15 endpoints tops. So no need to be afraid of that. So what we're gonna do today, as the name of the workshop suggests, we are gonna build a backend for our crypto exchange. We are gonna build exchange custodial. It's the one like the Binance or Kraken, where you, as an exchange provider, are owners of the private keys and all the crypto assets of the users of the exchange. So you manage that. There are other types of exchanges like DEX or decentralized where the users are owners, but this session is focused on the custodial ones. So let's just deep dive to the workshop itself. I'm gonna use tool Postman. It's a nice tool for working with APIs and integrations. I have prepared a couple of endpoints for you today. Those endpoints will be available also for you as a Postman collection, so you can import it and play around with that. When we copy the API key from the dashboard to work with the Tatum API, the API key is used inside the HTTP header as XAPI key, and you place here the value. Nice thing in Postman is that you can create profiles where you can enter the endpoint you want to invoke and some shortcuts to the variables. We are using the API key here, and right now it's time to really jump into the workshop. So what do you want to, when you want to build an exchange, there are three things or three steps you need to think about. First of all, you need to take care of the private keys of your customers and of the blockchain assets you will be supporting. So you have to create a wallet for every cryptocurrency you want to support inside your exchange, and you very easily create a wallet using our API. And right now, for the purpose of this session, we are gonna create wallets for Bitcoin and for Ethereum. we will gonna launch accounts for Bitcoins and Ethereum and perform trades for Bitcoin and Ethereum currency. So first of all, as I said, before your exchange is live and is running, you need to generate the wallets. So for Bitcoin, you can create a wallet which gives you the mnemonic and XPUB. Mnemonic is the key to all the private keys you can generate from this wallet. In Tatum, we support HD wallets where you can generate more than 2 billions of different addresses and private keys from one mnemonic. That's super powerful and quite secure because you don't have to store number like thousands of private keys, but you can store only one of them. So we will create the wallets for Bitcoin. The same thing will be used for creating wallet for Ethereum. You just change the URL of the generate wallet command. We have wallets prepared for our exchange, and right now, what we have to do in order to onboard our customers inside the journey. What will happen when a new customer arrives, signs up inside our exchange? What do we have to do to onboard him? We can imagine exchanges like Binance or Kraken. When you sign up, you see like your funds or your wallet, and you see multiple crypto accounts you can top up with your assets, or you can perform trades. So when the user signs up inside our wallet, we have to create an account for him. Every account is of different currency. So first of all, we will support, as I said, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So we can create account inside Tatum Ledger for Bitcoin and account inside Tatum Ledger for Ethereum. What is account in a Tatum terms? It's we can imagine it as a virtual envelope that abstracts the complexity of the underlying blockchain. You can imagine it as an account in a bank or any other account. So right now we are generating account inside Tatum. The account is of Bitcoin currency, and we use XPUB, which is extended public key, from the wallet we have generated for Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin wallet gives us two fields. It gives us mnemonic, which is the super secure private key generator, and it gives us XPUB, which is extended public key, and you can imagine it as a read-only generator of addresses. And this XPUB is used to connect to the Ledger account inside Tatum. And from this XPUB, there's a connection between the virtual envelope, between the virtual account, and the specific blockchain we are running on. So for Bitcoin, we'll use extended public key Bitcoin. What's even more interesting is that we can create account and place it inside a customer object. The customer object is again some virtual object inside Tatum, inside our API, which like bundles multiple different accounts together under one entity, and you can reference the customer of your system with the customer of Tatum system with external ID. So when you create an account, you just enter your ID from your system of the signed up customer. So let's create an account for Bitcoin. As we can see as a result that there was some account was created. It has zero balance, so the account is empty, and it's of currency BTC. It belongs to a specific customer inside Tatum, and XPUB is assigned to that account. We can do exactly the same for Ethereum. We'll use the same API call. The only difference is change of the currency for Ethereum, and we will change the extended public key for the wallet we have created for Ethereum. So we have created an account for Ethereum. When we do this, it doesn't mean that these virtual accounts we have just created are connected to blockchain or to some specific blockchain addresses. So your customers now sees the list of multiple accounts they can work with inside the exchange, but they cannot send any blockchain funds to that. They can just work with the accounts. So in order to connect these virtual accounts inside Tatum to blockchain, we need to generate a blockchain address for that accounts and assign automatically the address of the blockchain to the account inside Tatum. What we have to do is we have to use the ID of the newly created account and generate the off-chain address inside Tatum. When we do that, we can see that we have created a blockchain address is like this for Bitcoin currency for this specific extended public key, and the derivation key number 5 tells us that this is address number 5 from the mnemonic, from the wallet we are using, which is associated with this account. We can generate as much blockchain addresses and connect it to one ledger account as you can. We can generate as many addresses as you wish. What's really cool and what's super powerful is that when you assign this blockchain address to the ledger account, it automatically, there are processes inside Tatum platform which automatically starts synchronization of incoming blockchain transactions to these addresses, and it automatically credits the balance of the connected ledger account. So you don't have to do anything with the blockchain. You just create account, you assign address, and you will automatically receive the incoming blockchain assets. So you as an exchange, there is no other things like blockchain scanning or stuff like that. Everything is done automatically, and the balance is increased every time the blockchain transaction arrives to the user accounts. We can do exactly the same for Ethereum. The endpoints are the same because we in Tatum are abstraction friendly, and we love abstraction for you. So the only thing you have to change is the ID of the account where you want to generate the blockchain address. So once your user signs up into the application, you have to perform two operations. You have to create account and generate deposit address, and everything is set up. Your user is able to send crypto there, and he can start trading. So before this workshop, I have created multiple accounts, and I have already topped them up with the blockchain transactions. So I will use those. So when I invoke endpoint to list all customer accounts I have, I can see that I have created 4 accounts for one customer. The first one are already debited with the crypto, so we can work with them. And I have created 2 customers, customer number 1 and customer number 2. And customer number 2 is also has 2 accounts, one for Bitcoin, one for Ethereum, and both of them has some balance on their accounts. So we can do trades as we will see next time. What's also interesting, when the user signs up, we have created accounts, everything is great. Next, the last stage where we have to focus on is what will happen when user signs in and what the user will do inside our exchange. When user signs in, he would like to see the list of his assets. So how much Bitcoins you have, how much Ethereums you have, and stuff like that. For that, we can leverage the list all customer accounts endpoints, where we show them all his accounts. We show him all the balances on these accounts, so the user can see what was the status. And also when the user just clicks to the detail of one specific account, for example, you want to see what is happening on Ethereum, there is an endpoint get transactions for Ethereum account. This endpoint also leverages the Tatum ledger and Tatum ecosystem. It doesn't connect to the blockchain, because when we create the deposit addresses with these API calls, and we just handle the nasty stuff from the blockchain to Tatum, and Tatum automatically do all the things, which means it automatically uh, records the transaction that happened on those addresses. So we can now see balance. We can now take a look at the get transactions for Ethereum account, and we can see that there was one blockchain deposit transaction. Your user sends 0.6 Ethereum to his account using this transaction ID from the blockchain. So you can see that something had happened. He topped up an account. When we will perform the trades, which is the last thing I'm gonna show you today, we will see in this endpoint the trades transactions, meaning every operation that happened, either buy or sell, will be also recorded here inside the ledger transaction endpoints. So we can now focus on the last, but the most fun part of today's workshop. We have set up everything we needed. So right now we can focus on the trades itself. You can see inside the trade section, I have just 5 API calls. The exchange is usually that simple. What you want to do is you want to create a buy trade, you want to create a sell trade, you want to see the list of active buys, you want to see the list of active sells, or you want to see the history of already performed closed trades. So let's jump in directly inside the buy. We can see that there are a couple of parameters inside the buy trade. When you want to buy, when you want to perform a buy trade, when you want to open a trade, you need to know which pair you are working with, which assets you want to buy. So you define a pair. Pair is a combination of 2 currencies. Usually the first one is the currency you want to buy for the second currency. So this buy trade means I want to buy Ethereum for my Bitcoins. There is a strong connection between the currencies in the pair and the account IDs, which are later here. Because me as a customer, I want to perform buy Ethereum and sell Bitcoin. So I need to enter the currency one account ID, which is account of currency Ethereum. And to this account, my newly bought Ethereum will be transferred. And the currency two account ID, this third one, the 312 at the end, is the account of Bitcoin currency. This is the account from which I'm gonna pay for my newly bought Ethereum. So the connection is really simple. First currency is here, second currency is here. The last thing, which is important, last but not least, is the amount of Ethereum we want to buy and the price we want to pay for that Ethereum. So I'm saying I want to buy 0.005 Ethereum for the price of 0.02 Ethereum per Bitcoin. This means I want to buy 0.005 and I want to pay this price. And that's it. That's super simple. We can just open this trade. This trade is by default limited trade. You just send the price there and you are waiting if there is some other counter trade which will just fill and the trades will be closed. So the response from the API is identifier of the trade. We can take a look now at the open buy trades using the get buy endpoint, and we will see that I have open one buy trade. I can see the price, I can see the amount, I can see type and pair. I can see also now there is a fill, and fill is 0, meaning this means that no one performed the counter trade, and no one has matched any part of my open trade. So my trade is still there waiting for someone who will just fill it. So I perform this trade from the customer one accounts, from his Bitcoin account and from his Ethereum account. So this buy trade is from customer number one. There is another customer number two, who would like to sell his Ethereums for Bitcoin. So he signs into the exchange and he open the sell trade. The sell trade is exactly the same as the buy trade. The only difference is the type of the trade you are opening. Customer number one will open the trade for 0.02 Ethereum per Bitcoin. He wants to sell 0.005 Ethereum. And again, currency one account ID is Ethereum, currency two account ID is Bitcoin. So he just sent this trade to the exchange, to the order book. What has happened right now is that he opens a sell trade, but when we open the history of the sell trades now, of the open sell trades now, we can see that there is no open sell trade and there is also no open buy trade. Why? Because there was a pending buy for 0.02 and this guy opens a sell order for 0.02 on the same pair. So those trades just matched together. They just got filled and the currencies were transferred. So when I take a look right now to the list of the currency on the Bitcoin account for customer number one, we can see that he sell his Bitcoins and we can see that he buys Ethereum. So his trade was filled and his balance of his accounts got increased and decreased. This is the previous balance of his accounts. And right now we can see that he sells some of his Bitcoins and he buys some of the Ethereums. Exactly the same thing has happened on customer number two. The only difference is that he bought Bitcoins and he sells his Ethereums because he performs sell trade. So he sells his Ethereum, he bought his Bitcoins. So the buys, open buys, there is no open buy, there is no open sell. We can just now take a look to the history of the already closed trades. And we can see right now from the endpoint that there were two trades. First one was buy, second one was sell. And those got filled to the both for 100%. Okay, there is a question from Ruven. Hi, it's good to have you here. For trading pairs, can we use only ERC-2071 tokens with BTC? Yes. You are not limited when you are opening the buy trades to anything. When you have currency registered inside Tatum, your own custom ERC20 token, for example, or any other blockchain we support, you just enter here, for example, USDT. We support USDT, so you can enter here USDT. The trading pair, like, it's not the entity. It's just the string. So when there is no trade for USDT BTC, there is no such pair. When you create first pair for USDT BTC, you will like create a new pair inside your order book. So there is no limitation in the combination of the pairs. I hope it was clear, Ruben. So, okay, so we have open buy, we have open sell, and those got filled automatically. But what will happen when we will again open a buy trade, for example, for 0.005, exactly the same one? We can see that there's a new open buy trade. Now, when we open a sell trade, and the sell trade will not be for 0.005 amount, but lower one, for example, 0.001, what happens right now is that the sell trade is filled automatically and the buy trade is filled only partially, meaning we have filled only 0.001 from 0.005, so 20%. So the buy trade is still waiting for other counter trades to just fill him by 100%. So now when we invoke the sell trade for 4 more times, we will just match all the trade. There is no sell, there is no buy, and we can see that there are multiple exchange trades inside the transaction history. Also, in the history of the trades, we can see that there was a lot of sell trades here and one buy trade, which is again filled for 100%. How does the actual transfer of tokens happen? For example, moving an NFT from user A to user B. Okay, right now, all of these trades which are happening, which I'm showing to you, are happening inside Tatum Ledger. Tatum Ledger is a distributed database which runs in the cloud for you inside our API, and all of these trades are happening inside the ledger off chain, so not on a blockchain. Because if you imagine, I'm showing you the way how to build exchange like Binance or Kraken, and they are performing the trades inside their systems. They are not performing the trades on the blockchain itself. This is not a DEX. This is just the like, let's say, centralized exchange. So when you want to work with NFTs, yes, you can like mimic the logic of the NFTs inside this order book, but you have to physically move the assets later. And that's it. That's the couple of endpoints I would like to show you. And what we were able to do is that we were able to generate wallets. We were able to create multiple accounts for multiple blockchains for the customers of the exchange. We were able to automatically sync incoming blockchain transactions inside our system. So users can just send assets to the exchange and they will be automatically credited to their accounts. We were able to list all the customer accounts. We were able to list the transactions for every account we support for the customer. We were able to open the buy trade. We were able to open the sell trade. We're able to see the history of closed trades and the list of currently opened trades. And I can see there are questions coming. That's cool. Let's ask the more easier one. How secure the new exchange built from Tatum from end user perspective? Okay, security, it's always a question and a challenge. Right now, we support, I have shown you the wallets and how we generate these. So there are some things like mnemonics which are super sensitive. So you shouldn't send it to the API itself. We as Tatum has a lot of a lot of utilities and tools around our platform. One of these utilities is Tatum KMS, which is a key management system which is used on your servers for safely storing the private keys. And we as Tatum, we don't want to mess with your private keys. We don't want to see them. We don't want to do anything with them. The private keys are yours and yours only, and you should store it in a secure place like Tatum KMS. So when you want to build an exchange, from Tatum perspective as the API, we don't see your private keys, so it's up to you. And from your perspective, you should secure your perimeter around the key management system, or you can use third-party services like Very Good Security or Azure Vault to store your sensitive data. Okay, Amir, there was a question for Amir. How can we get a fee commission in each transaction? That's what I didn't show you, but I'm super happy to show you that. What we can do also is when we enter, for every trade we are doing, we can enter two parameters. The first one is the fee. It's in percent. It's in percents, and the second one is the fee account ID, and it's the account ID inside ledger of the account. This account, fee account ID, should be like your service account for collecting fees for you as an exchange provider. So we will just use some accounts we have created, which are empty right now, this or these. The fee account is always in the main account currency, so the first one. So we'll use the Ethereum one for that. And when we enter inside the create trade operation, the fee and the fee account ID, every time the trade is closed, the 0.01% of the traded amount is transferred to this ledger account of your service. So for every buy, you can add it to every sell. Okay, I think we have this one wrong. So this should be a number, not a string. And sorry for that. Okay. So we have opened order, or we have opened the buy order. When we take a look in the active buy, open buys, we can see the fee and the fee account ID. And when we just open the sell trade and the sell is matched with the opened buy, inside the history, we can see the trade is filled. And in these accounts, we can see that there was a super small fee sent to the Ethereum account. This was the service account we have used. So using this way, you can send small amount of fee for every trade which has happened. We just need to enter the fee account ID, which should be of currency of the main pair and the percentage of the fee you want to obtain from the trade. Yeah, welcome. Okay, there was an question for David Batala. Do you support ERC or ensure decentralized identity? Right now, no. Right now, Tatum supports ERC20s and ERC721s. And these ERC standards we do not support right now, but it's not a problem to add it there if we see the demand from the community and from the developers. Okay, I think there was another questions from the beginning. Are users' crypto assets secure in my exchange? I think I just answered that. Yes, when you use the Tatum KMS tool for securely store your private keys and mnemonics, yes, they are always yours and not Tatum's. How often does the private ledger synchronizes with the blockchain. Can I change the sync frequency? Private ledger, the automatic scanning mechanism is scanning the blockchain, I think every 15 seconds right now. So it's near to real time. For most of the blockchains, it's just enough. When, for example, Bitcoin is every block is every 20 minutes, so it's just fine. For faster blockchains, you just wait a couple of seconds, and the assets are credited automatically. Can I change the sync frequency? Right now, no. The sync frequency is same for everyone in Tatum. Is there any way to implement margin trading with Tatum? Margin trading is the out of the box supported inside Tatum. When we open the trades, they are open in sorry, margin trading. I mistake with the limit. Margin trading. Yes, you can do margin trading when you will have your service accounts ready for you, where you will just lend the money for your customers. So you will just transfer them a lot of cryptocurrencies to their accounts, and you will do some kind of calculations internally. What was the margin? How much he wanted to buy, and stuff like that. So all you have to do when there is a margin like 10 times, you just adjust the parameters which are sent to the create trade endpoint. How does the built-in compliance engine work? Do I have to set it up? There's the thing I didn't mention from the start, but Tatum has built-in compliance engine. When you create account for different customers, you can enable compliance automatically by providing the customer country, for example, US. And when you enable this, when you set the country of the customer, there are mechanisms inside Tatum that will automatically, for example, there's not able to send assets to the people who are from different countries. For example, Bitcoin is banned in China, or India has some more strict regulations these days. So you will not be able to send assets which are prohibited from some accounts. Does Tatum have access to my exchange? Tatum doesn't have access to your private keys. They are stored inside your perimeter. Tatum has access to your order book, which is these trades. Tatum has access to the accounts, but we are the provider. We don't do anything with that. So you are storing the data inside Tatum, and you leverage it. But the private keys and assets are always safe on your side, not on our side. Is it difficult to add new cryptocurrencies to my exchange? No, it's not difficult at all. As soon as the currency is supported inside Tatum, and we are adding new blockchains like every 2 weeks, you just create accounts of that new currency, you generate the deposit addresses, and you are free to go. So more cryptocurrencies Tatum supports, the more choices you have to run your exchange with. What if my exchange gets a high volume of traffic and can Tatum handle it? Yes, we are prepared for scaling. We do scale a lot. We have customers who would like to perform tens, thousands of operations per second, and our infrastructure is ready for that. So as you will grow, you can rely on the scaling of our infrastructure. And it's not only the order book, it's also the blockchain nodes. You can imagine Binance has like millions of users, and their infrastructure is quite big and high, and the cost of running that is super, super expensive. And not only running that, but also to support that from the DevOps perspective. And you don't have to do that. You can focus on your business, and you can leave the infrastructure on Tatum. Oh, okay. There are three more questions. Are we planning to support the Avalanche blockchain from Tomáš Michalek? Yes, Avalanche is in our roadmap, and we would like to support it in the next couple of weeks. How do you suggest getting the current token spot price by Roman? We have endpoint for obtain current exchange rates for the tokens we do support. You can find the endpoint in our API documentation. It's this one: get current exchange rate of the supported fiat or crypto asset. So you can obtain the rates from our API, or you can connect to different other like rate providers or decentralized protocols, and you can obtain data from there before every trade. Question from Fernando: can you elaborate more on how I could do trading of NFTs to a coin through Tatum? I didn't understand. And I need a wallet for the NFT, or you can store. Okay, the NFTs, yeah. The NFTs are quite tricky because NFTs are, we do not support as Tatum NFTs as a currency for creating ledger account. So what you have to do is that you have to emulate the NFT inside our platform, but that's something I would like to show you next time when I would like to present how fiat is supported inside our platform, and how this can be added to the trading of and to the trading pairs. And very high level, we have a concept of virtual currencies, and those virtual currencies are running inside our private ledger, and you can emulate the NFTs you want to trade with the virtual currencies. But I think maybe Fernando, if you reach to our Telegram channel, we can just move this conversation there. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, guys, so feel free to ask anything. I'm here like 15 more minutes, so everything which is not clear to you, just ask. Do you generate dynamic wallets or plan to? This is a trend we see. What do you mean, Fernando, by dynamic wallets? To protect the customer wallet ID. Okay, Fernando, maybe again, we will move this conversation to Telegram. I think it's too sophisticated. And the question from Vijaya, sorry for the name. Any live exchanges which are used Tatum API? There are some exchanges who are leveraging our API inside Czech Republic. There are some exchanges which are leveraging our API inside, I think in India, there are one or two. And there is a lot of smaller projects or DeFi exchanges which are connecting to our nodes, and more exchanges are being built these days. So I believe that in the next couple of months, there's going to be more and more exchanges built on top of us. You're welcome. Okay, guys, I don't have much more today. Maybe I will just I would like to invite you to our Telegram channel, and Telegram channel is available Telegram e/Tatum.io. I think everyone can enter the link to the channel, to the chat. Also, the video will be available as soon as we manage to process it. It's going to be available on our YouTube, and we also add it to the LinkedIn and to the event, so you can just go directly there. Also, the collection, the Postman collection I was working with today, will be available inside our developer zone, where there is also a nice guide how to build a crypto exchange. It's basically exactly the same thing I was showing you today, and we also add the Postman collection here, so you can download it and import it to your Postman. Last question from Julian. Last question, can we expect some little help from the Tatum if needed while building the exchange? Yes, as I mentioned, just connect to the Telegram. We are always happy to assist you. Also, there is a lot of other people from the community that will help you. You can also reach out on Reddit, and if you have like really need some guidance, you can always buy some consultation for 1 or 2 days from our guys, and we can set up the process and help you set up the processes with you. You're welcome. Okay, so if it's everything, I want to thank you all for joining today. As I mentioned, I would like to have another workshop, I believe next week, where I will show you the private key management and the security aspects of the exchange. And I would like to show you also how we can support the fiat currencies inside Atom and how to plug them inside the crypto exchange. So you are all welcome, and we will create the event on LinkedIn and also on Meetup very soon. So we will invite you all of that there. So thank you all, and enjoy the rest of the Thursday.